Ms. Z can hear me. I wanted to issue an apology to Ms. Z because she know I never meant to hurt Ms. Z. I never meant to violate her at all. I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. I just took a hit. And I don't know I didn't even know the guy was behind me. I'm getting ready to run from Ms. Z. Somebody in New Haven, on the streets of New Haven, grabbed me from my back and tried to slam me.
You're muted.
Obedience to the law on 4/30/2025, while parole officers were attempting to take you into custody, you failed to follow commands and actively resisted with parole officers. You failed to put your hands behind your back and use your body in an attempt to get free from parole. You called out to your friend that was nearby to have him help you and get parole officers away from you. New Haven police arrived on scene and will be doing a warrant for assault charges. The warrant is not yet available. Also on 3/17/2025, a warrant was entered for you for the charges of criminal impersonation, larceny 6, and interfering with police from Hanson Police.
The state has filed the following exhibits. Exhibit A, remand to custody. Exhibit B, parole agreement. Exhibit C, halfway house incident report. Exhibit D, notice of parole violation. Exhibit E, parole violation report. Exhibit F, notice of parole violation. Exhibit G, New Haven police incident report and warrant ending in 003.
Is it just me, or does he look like he's about to cry? It's like, bro, don't cry now. Did the crime, you gotta do the time. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
And Exhibit H, Hamden police report ending in 646. The state filed an addendum to Exhibit E, which states on May 19th, 2025, Mr. Giles was convicted of criminal impersonation. He was sentenced to 6 months jail under docket ending in 270. The charge is interfering and resisting, as well as larceny 6 but not pursued. On August 13th, 2025, Mr. Giles was convicted of assault on a public safety officer for 2 counts. He was sentenced to 18 months jail for each charge to run concurrent under docket ending in 271. Counsel, did you receive the notice of parole violation report, and other documents that were marked for identification purposes?
Yes, I received all the document. I do have a question regarding Exhibit A, remand to custody. I'm not sure if I have a different copy. Do you have any signature on the remand to custody order?
From 430?
Or
the remand custody.
Exhibit A that was provided by the Board of Pardons and Parole. This is what we were given on page 2. There are no signature.
So the one I have does have signatures. Would you like a copy of this one?
We did. That was not forwarded to our office. But yes, I would like a copy of that.
Do you want to review it briefly?
Yeah.
And I also provide you with a copy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's 6.
The one I was given doesn't even have a date on there, nor does it have any signatures. So yeah, page 2 here. There's a Joseph Timbro and Brian Plord, date, facility, staff signature, and then date again, Brian Plord, parole manager signature, date, facility, staff title. There are no signatures on there, so I'll get a copy of that. Okay, thank you.
So you received
everything? Yes, I did.
And Defense has also filed Exhibit 1, parole accomplishments and future plans for parole reinstatement. Today we have no witnesses. At this time, the state will have an opportunity to present evidence to speak to any of the evidence submitted. Officer?
I have nothing prepared.
Nothing to add?
That's correct.
Yes, just briefly, Kyle, you were out for days prior you started using illegal narcotics again, correct? Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. And you were remanded approximately April 30th of 2025, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you went to court and resolved your case on August 13th of 2025. So if my math is correct, just approximately 4 months later, you went to court?
Yes.
All right. Is it a fair statement? After I spoke to you, I believe this was your poll, I owned up to my actions and you pled guilty in court to 2 counts on assault on an officer and you were given 18 months, correct?
Yes.
All right. No one threatened you, forced you. There's probably the same questions that the judge asked you in order to plead guilty. But once you had a clear head you pled guilty to those 2 counts and were given 18 months, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I have no issues with the addendum that was put on the record. So I anticipate, obviously, based on the findings in court, you're going to make a finding at minimum on the obedience to the law charge. I just wanted to put a couple of things on the record as to what happened in court with my client. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, nothing further before I announce my findings?
I'd like to just make a statement for the record, please.
Okay.
So just over the period of supervision for Mr. Jowers, from his initial offense for assault first, robbery first, and a criminal possession of a weapon, I'd also like to note that he's on the deadly weapon offender registry, received a 9-year sentence. Throughout that period, he was on discretionary parole for approximately 1 to 1.5 years. While he was on discretionary parole, he absconded on 7/12/22 and was returned on 6/13/23. Subsequent to that, he was discharged to special parole. He absconded again on 9/22/23 and was returned by the Fugitive Investigation Unit on 10/23/23. He was reinstated and re-released. He absconded again on 3/19/2024 and returned on 5/19/24. Again, he was reinstated by the Board of Pardons and Paroles. He again absconded on 4/14/25 and was recently returned on 4/30/25. Upon that return on 4/30/25, he engaged in physical engagement with both parole officer Zerani and parole officer Byrne on the New Haven Green, to the fact where they had to spray Mr. Jowers with odor resin capsicum, and he continued to fight parole officers until New Haven PD arrived and they were able to take him into custody. Mr. Jowers did admit that he was using crack cocaine within a 3-day binge that he stated to us at the hospital. He was subsequently taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of assault on public safety.
Thank you. Councilman further?
No, what EO Supervisor Waldron put on the record, that those are correct recitation. I don't have any issue with that. So yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
Thank you. Regarding charge 1 residence, I make a finding based on State's Exhibits B and E. Charge 2 absconder, I make a finding based on State's Exhibits B and E. Charge 3 obedience to law, I make a finding based on Mr. Jowers' conviction, as well as State's Exhibits B, E, G, and H. That concludes the fact-finding portion of this hearing. Before I make my recommendation, the state, as well as your attorney, will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. Parole supervisor or officer, would you like to make any statements regarding Mr. Jowers' background and history at this time?
Negative.
I think I spelled out the history fairly clearly. Over the period of supervision, Mr. Jowers has absconded 4 different times and was apprehended by the Fugitive Investigation Unit on 4 different occasions. So that should speak to his history of supervision while on parole.
Thank you. Counsel?
Yes, on behalf of Mr. Jowers, he's 42 years old. He was born in New Haven, and he did report to us he was raised in the custody of the DCF, Department of Children and Families. On his previous release, he was at the Connection, the Roger Sherman House in New Haven. And it looks like in 2022, he was at the Project Moore Halfway House program, the Walter Brooks in New Haven. In August of 2023, back at the Connection at the Eddy Center in Middletown. He did report to us. He did begin studying small electronics in the past while incarcerated. On his previous position as far as work, he did return to full-time at Grade A Movers and Storage in North Haven, and he's been on and off at that job for the past 6 years. There's one of his good friends works at the company. Also back in 2022, worked at Creative Logistics Solutions in West Haven. And at one point, while at the Walter Brooks House, full-time at Calabro Cheese in East Haven, and also worked there on a couple of different occasions at the same Calabro Cheese. While in the community, he did report to us he does want to enroll in clinical mental health treatment services, including medication management, with obviously based on the short time he was out, did not establish those services out in the community. He, upon his rematch to New Haven, he is currently, as reported to us, medication compliant. He takes Depakote, which he finds to be helpful. Employed full-time as a chairman, 7 days a week. And he does meet regularly with a mental health unit counselor, Waleska, once to twice a month, depending on his needs. He is amenable to being placed in a halfway house in New Haven. That is not a Roger Sherman house. Apparently there's some issues there. And he's interested in utilizing Project More Halfway House program if possible. And also he does have some support through his family, and they're amenable to help him find some independent housing. He does want to enroll in trade school and study maintenance and repairs of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC. Does want to apply for disability for mental health purposes, and is amenable to return from part-time work at the grade A movers in New Haven. I do want to comment, I know through the important partisan parole policy that the parole officer are allowed to make a recommendation if the documents I received are correct. I have here that they're recommending that he be incarcerated with the EOS date 11/5/29 as the offender made 6 days during this time of release. I'm not disputing that it was a 6-day period. It's put on the record by myself and the supervisor, and I believe P.O. Zarani. So he was using, it's not an excuse. You got to know right from wrong. But this recommendation based on the court sentence, if my math is correct, it's approximately 2.5 times what he received in court. And I'm not saying that the court sentence is the standard, but my humble professional opinion, a 4-year sanction is excessive. I understand what happened here. I understand what my client pled to, and he actually pled to 2 counts of assault on a officer, but a 4-year recommendation for a sanction is excessive. Despite the fact this is his 4th time back, they're asking for 2.5 times more than what the court gave him for a sentence that he pled guilty to voluntarily on those 2 charges. I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the state have anything further?
Yeah, if I may interject, I would disagree. I would state again that Mr. Jowers' actions are a threat to public safety and officer safety, based on the fact that he absconded 4 different times while he was released on parole. Not to mention his initial offense of assault first, robbery first, and criminal possession of a weapon. I would hold that recommendation for the Board of Pardons and Paroles. I understand that he was convicted and pled guilty to the 2 counts of assault on public safety. However, that doesn't necessarily touch on the board's decision for his special parole revocation hearing. I understand the court's sentence, but I would also ask that the Board of Pardons and Paroles take into account the 4 times that he's absconded while he's on parole and has been apprehended 4 different times by the Fusion Investigation Unit, to include 2 assaults on public safety and his initial offense.
Thank you. Counsel?
No, the only comment I'll make regarding the court sentence, clearly it's separate from the Board of Pardons and Parole, but obviously they do look at the severity of the charges and the actual facts in meting out a sentence, because assault on a police officer, 18 months, the max sentence on that is much higher than 18 months. I don't have anything else to add.
Okay. And the state, anything further?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to take a moment before I announce my recommendation. Mr. Jowers, I see that you were discharged to special parole in August of 2023. Since being discharged in August of 2023, this is your third time absconding since being on special parole, and your second criminal conviction while being in absconder status. Regarding this period of absconding, you absconded after 6 days, and while taken into custody, you did plead guilty and admitted to assaulting the 2 parole officers in an attempt to bring you into custody. Taking into account your history, what was said today on record, as well as the nature of this parole violation, I recommend revoke and reparole on November 1st, 2027, which is an approximate 2.5-year sanction with the following conditions: no consumption of alcohol, no contact with victims KW, DB, and EZ, a general no contact with Destiny Cox, mental health evaluation, no contact with minors without the express permission of your parole officer, prompt sexual behavior treatment, and halfway house placement. My findings and recommendations will be forwarded to the board, and you'll receive the official written decision from the board. And your board review is scheduled on September 25th, 2025, which is next Thursday. So on that day, the board is going to review your case. My recommendation is a 2.5-year sanction, which brings you to November 1st, 2027. If the board agrees with that recommendation, that would be your release date. If they don't agree, there will be another hearing to take place that they would justify additional confinement. Now, they also can lower that recommendation, being that you're parole eligible as of September of 2026, based off of this new criminal conviction. But whatever the board decides, you'll receive in writing, okay?
I just wanted to, if it's okay, if Miss Z can hear me, I wanted to issue an apology to Miss Z because she know I never meant to hurt Miss Z. I never meant to violate her at all. I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. I just took a hit, and I don't know who. I didn't even know the guy was behind me. I'm getting ready to run from Miss Z. Somebody in New Haven, on the streets of New Haven, grabbed me from my back and tried to slam me. I didn't know that was a parole officer at the time. I'm looking at Miss Z, getting ready to run this way from Miss Z, and I'm wrong. I'm wrong for running, and they didn't even mention that I turned myself in on one of them absconders. When I ran the first time, I turned myself in. They don't give me no credit for that. They don't give me no credit for even helping them out. I apologize.
Don't put any of that on the record.
I just wanted to apologize to Ms. D.
I appreciate you saying that.
Nobody don't mention none of the other stuff that they came in here asking me.
Mr. Jowers,
I'm always the bad guy. I don't get no credit for nothing that I do. I even asked them to get me out of Roger Sherman. I asked Timbro to move me out of Roger Sherman 2 days prior because of that halfway out. I seen a dude with a gun in there. Drugs everywhere. And I couldn't, they didn't have no job, nothing. They had no job, but they didn't listen to me. Nobody listened. I asked Mr. Rodney prior to leaving here to help me. Nobody helped me.
Thank you for your apologies on record. The revocation hearing has concluded.
You'll get something in writing, so will I, Kyle. 7 to 10 days after September 25th with the final outcome. There's an issue with the recommendation. If there's going to be another hearing, I'll set up a call with you, okay?
All right. Would it be all right if I wanted to like this.
Yeah, well, we're getting to the end of it, but damn, they gave him an extra 2.5 years. But that's because he assaulted 2 cops. I mean, what do you expect? They're going to smoke him every single time. But stay blessed and stay free. So you don't got to be like him.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I'll take care of it.
Thank you so much, Josh.
All right.
You're welcome. Thank you.